Good morning, children. So we are doing the lesson number 5, business organization. Okay, part 1. So in that, first thing that we need to understand is about sole proprietorship. So when a person alone establishes a business, he himself arranges the capital and bears the profit and loss all by himself. That is known as sole proprietorship. He is one and the wholly responsible person. Okay. So if we look at the characteristic, it is said it is easy to establish because there is no complex legal procedure. Low capital. Whatever his savings, he can start the business because it is a small business, but he can also take loans. Administrative power is totally concentrated in his hand. He is the one who will also manage the business. So that is the reason he can take independent and quick decisions. So that is the point number 4, fourth characteristic. Fifth characteristic is personal contact. Because the business is small, he is in contact with his customers and he can change his business according to the tastes or preferences of the customer. And that is why we are saying that there is flexibility. When he wants to make any changes to his business, he doesn't have to wait for anything because he is the whole and sole manager. He is the whole and sole owner, so he can anytime make whatever changes needed to increase the profit. Less burden of income tax, because income tax will be counted as per the personal income tax, and we already know up to 5 lakh now the income tax limit. There is no income tax. 5 lakh का अगर तुम्हारा per year profit होता है तो you don't have to pay any income tax. Okay. So burden में BURDEN. Now we will look at the advantages of the sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship एक छोटा business होता है which anybody with common ability can start. So it is easy in establishment, like we said, कि no complex legal procedures are involved. Low capital, too much capital is not needed. Secrecy can be maintained because that one person is whole and sole responsible, so he can maintain secrecy. Quick decisions can be taken. He doesn't have to ask anyone. Personal contact, like we already discussed, he can maintain with his customers. Flexibility, he can bring changes. Less burden, BURDEN, of income tax. So those characteristics and advantages are same. If you look at the limitations, the first limitation is limited capital, because he is the only person who is bringing in the capital. So even if he takes loan, he cannot bring too much capital. So he cannot make his business very big. Short lifespan. If he becomes insolvent, or if he dies, or if he loses mental balance, then the company is going, the sole proprietorship business is going to end. Limited work efficiency. One person cannot have knowledge of all fields, and as a result of that, he will have limited working efficiency, not excellent in all fields. So again, there is a possibility of wrong decisions because he has no one to discuss and to ask. He is alone. No availability of advantages of trading on large scale, because this is a small business and the profit is also small. So he cannot buy big machines, or he cannot change his business into a large scale business. Second is business run by Hindu undivided family. So in this you get the membership. All the family members are called members and they get the membership by birth. इसलिए बोला है as inheritance. According to Hindu law is called HUF, Hindu undivided family. And the main person who runs the business, who takes all the decisions, is the head of the family and he is called the Karta. Okay. The field of operation is independent. He doesn't have to ask anybody, he can take his decision. Membership is by birth, as I already told you. Financial control is in hands of Karta. Liability of Karta is unlimited. Unlimited liability we have already discussed in the class. let me remind you again, if the Karta is not able to pay his debt, then his property can be confiscated, means he will have to sell his personal property and pay the debts. That is known as unlimited liability. But other members of the family have limited liability. That means whatever part of profit they are getting, only that much they have to repay. They don't have to sell their personal property. Difficulty to bring more capital, because again this is only one family, so they cannot bring too much capital. So again there is a limitation. The business is also small. Only adult member can be declared insolvent. Minors are excluded from it. Okay. So now we are going to look at the third type, that is partnership. Let us look at partnership. Partnership means it is a relationship or agreement between persons who have agreed to run the business jointly or on behalf of others. That means one person can manage it. Suppose there are 4 partners, then one partner can manage it on behalf of others. All 4 partners can take part in management and decision making. Okay, it is according to the agreement that they are going to make, and all can share the profit and loss. Characteristics, if we look into, the first is relationship on the basis of agreement. Third is establishment process is easy, so it can be registered, but it is not compulsory. Third is about number of profits. According to 2014 Company Act, the maximum number of partners is 50. In 2013 it was 100. Purpose to earn profit. This business has to be run to earn profit. Charitable business cannot be called partnership. Partnership brings capital according to partnership deed. All don't have to bring. If all bring, it is okay, but it is not compulsory that every partner should bring profit. Should bring capital. Okay. Business is managed by any one or more than 2 or all partners, like we already said. If the assets of firm are not sufficient to pay debts, then debts are paid from the personal properties of the partners. Means what? Their liability is unlimited. Now transfer of share is also not easy, because for transfer of share the consent of all partners, permission of all partners is necessary. Lifespan of a firm is limited, because if any of the partner becomes insolvent, if he loses mental balance, or if he dies, though his partnership comes to an end and his share can be divided among all partners, or the partners can decide to add one more partner, but the partnership of that partner though comes to an end. We are going to look at the advantages. So the establishment process is easy, like we said. It is not compulsory even to register it, but it is advisable, and there is no complex legal procedure, so there is not too much money to spend in it. Efficient management, because now the number of people at the top are more. There are more than 2 partners. As a result of that, they will have knowledge. Everybody is good at some skill or some ability they will be having, so all together they can manage the business properly. Increase in goodwill of firm, because every partner is going to have unlimited liability, so people will have more trust that if a problem occurs, their debts will definitely be paid. More capital can be brought, because now again number of partners are more, so each one is going to bring capital. Advantage of division of labor, because partners can divide the work amongst themselves according to each one's ability. Possibility of erroneous, matlab wrong, decision is less, because decisions will be taken with discussions. Flexible, whatever changes you need to bring, that you can bring. Protection to minority. If one of the partners is not agreeing to any of the matter, then the others cannot force him, and until and unless he agrees, that work cannot be done. So there is a protection of minority. अगर एक भी अपोज में जाता है तो फिर वो काम रुक जाएगा, सबको एग्री करना पड़ेगा. Decentralization. One second. Direct contact with customers, as there are more than two partners. So like we said, now the customer base will be more than the sole proprietorship, but again the partners are also more. So everybody can maintain contact with the customers, and then they can change their business according to the demand of the customer. Decentralization of financial control, because financial control is now not in one hand, one person's hand. It is in hands of all the partners. So when it is in the hands of more than one people, it is called decentralization. As the profit of the firm is distributed, the burden of income tax is less. So everybody will also share the income tax. As they share the profit, they will also share the income tax. One will not be burdened with all the income tax. लिमिटेशन अगर देखेंगे तो लिमिटेड ही कैपिटल है, कंपेयर्ड टू सोल प्रोप्राइटरशिप इट इज़ मोर, बट अगेन कंपेयर्ड टू ह्यूज बिजनेसेस like the multinational companies, here the capital is limited. And all partners have unlimited liability excluding the minor partner. Suppose a person dies, so his child can be made a minor partner, but he doesn't have unlimited liability. Possibility of difference of opinion and disputes is more, because even if one doesn't agree, so nothing can go ahead, and there can be disputes, there can be जिसको हम झगड़े बोलते हैं, तो they may not agree on all matters. So decisions also will be delayed. That is the next point. Lifespan of the firm is less than the other forms of business organizations, because here again if one of the partners becomes insolvent or goes mad or dies, then also his partnership comes to end, and the firm also may be dissolved if the other partners don't want to continue. Now we are going to look at the types of partnership. Active partnership, एक तो होता है active partner, the one who is taking part in management, he is called the active partner. Inactive partner does not take part in management. Nominal partner वो होता है who allows his name to be used by the firm. Okay, so profit partner is the one जो partnership deed में ही decided है. Okay, the profit partner is the one who offers benefit to the firm by his skill, and then he gets a part of profit, but his liability is not unlimited knowledge, and he does not share the loss. Okay. Partner by estoppel या holding out is the one whose actions are considered to be partner by the third party. आप हमेशा उस बिजनेस का अच्छा बोलो, और वो जिसको उस बिजनेस में इंटरेस्ट हो और वो इन्वेस्ट करे, उनको ये लगेगा कि आप भी उस बिजनेस के हिस्सेदार हो, जबकि आप नहीं हो, बट यू आर गिविंग दैट टाइप ऑफ इम्प्रेशन टू द थर्ड पार्टी. सो सच अ पार्टनर, इवन इफ ही इज नॉट टेकिंग पार्ट इन मैनेजमेंट, प्रॉफिट और लॉस, even then his liability will be unlimited. Minor partner or the partner dies, then his minor is made a partner. Types of firms according to time limit. Voluntary partnership lifespan of firms depends on the wishes of the partner. So you will decide na time limit partnership. Time limit is decided in advance. After pre-decided time, the firm is dissolved. Partnership for a specific job. एक कोई प्रोजेक्ट के लिए यू हैव बिकम पार्टनर्स, तो वो प्रोजेक्ट खत्म होने के बाद व्हाट विल हैपन, दैट फर्म विल बी डिसॉल्व. सो दैट इज अकॉर्डिंग टू टाइम लिमिट. अकॉर्डिंग टू लायबिलिटी, फर्म विथ लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी. लायबिलिटी इज लिमिटेड अप टू इन्वेस्टेड कैपिटल ओनली. ओके, तो फर्म विथ अनलिमिटेड लायबिलिटी, that means they have to sell their property. So this you can mention in your agreement with whether you are going to be a limited liability firm or you are going to be an unlimited liability firm. According to registration, तो होता है क्या, अनरजिस्टर्ड पार्टनरशिप भी होते हैं, और कोई कोई रजिस्ट्रार के पास जाके अपने पार्टनरशिप एक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग रजिस्टर कराएंगे, बिकॉज इट इज़ नॉट कंपल्सरी बट इट इज़ एडवाइजेबल. रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ पार्टनरशिप फर्म, हाउ वी नीड टू डू. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू पार्टनरशिप एक्ट 1932, it is not compulsory, but certain disadvantages are there in not registering, and that's why it is preferable to register the form. So how to register, that we are going to see. So when you want to register, what you have to do, you have to collect all this. Name of the firm you have to give, address of the firm, partners names, address, phone number, date of admission, ratio of profit of loss, how you are going to share, time limit of the firm if any, and details of capital invested. All this you need to submit. Partnership is and to the registrar, and then according to the Partnership Act 1932 it will be registered with some fees. Partnership is a relation arising out of an agreement or a deed. Agreement can be written or in oral, but written agreement following details need to be included. Name of firm, partner, all partners' names, address where the firm will be established, and even partners' addresses, phone numbers, age, purpose of firm, type of business, date of starting business. If it is a time limit, then mention the time limit. Partners' capitals, rate of interest to be paid on their borrowings, rate of interest on loan given by a partner to the firm, work distribution, who will do management and all those things, provisions for accounting, bookkeeping, how these things will be taken care of, that you need to mention. Provision of intermediary to solve the disputes. So if there will be any problem, dispute means who will become the intermediary, who will help to solve the dispute, that you need to mention. Power to sign important documents, who will have the power, that you need to mention. Provision for admission, if you want to admit one partner, if it will be there or not on retirement of a partner. Duties of partners, their rights. Provisions for admission of a minor partner, you want to allow that or not. Provision for settling the account at the time of dissolution of firm, how there you need to go about it. All these things you need to mention in the partnership deed. Okay. So I'm sending the PDF and you all will write this down in your notebook. Okay. And we're going to stop here. We'll discuss the MCQs, okay, in the Zoom.